Good morning, Malacanang Press Corps, and welcome to our press briefing ngayong araw, February 8, 2024. Following the sectoral meeting last Tuesday about peace and order, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. also met with the Department of Information and Communications Technology to discuss national cybersecurity plan. To give us the latest updates and President Marcos's directives on this program, we have here today the ICT Secretary, Ivan John Uy. Good morning, Secretary Uy.
Good morning, Daphne. Let me start. Good morning, everyone. And we presented the National Cybersecurity Plan to the President. This was more than a year in the making. And it actually is a very comprehensive plan covering the year 2024 to 2028. So the National Cybersecurity Plan is, it's a document that provides policy direction, as well as operational guidelines on how to build up our cybersecurity posture vis-a-vis the rest of the world. And this document was arrived at in consultation with all the different stakeholders, both in the public, private sector, as well as the academe. Then we also compared it with the cybersecurity plans of all the other countries to see where the thrust has been in terms of addressing the increasing cyber threats. So the plan is comprehensive, and it covers mainly addressing the need to develop good policy in order to ensure a safe cyber landscape for the country. So it also identifies cyber assets, infrastructure that's out there that needs to be protected, provides how all of the different government agencies, the different sectors, whether it's energy, transportation, finance sector, can come together and address quick responses in case there are any attacks or any attempts, and a good coordination mechanism so that these information are shared. Not only that, we've also incorporated advanced threat assessment so that even before those incidents happen, we're able to obtain information ahead from our international partners. Because, for instance, if, let's say, an attack happens in a bank in another country, then we have information exchange programs through our computer emergency response teams that can share those information so that we can proactively advise our banks here that, okay, there has recently been an attack on this particular bank in this particular country, and this was the mode of attack, this was the payload, this was the vector that was used in the attack. And so our banks would be advised ahead of time and prepare for it. Because whatever vulnerability has been exploited in that attack would most likely be the same vulnerability that cyber criminals will use in order to penetrate the other banks or other financial institutions. So these are some of the proactive approaches that are included in that plan. Second, which is also very, very important, is our capacity building and upskilling. Today, there are more than 2 million job vacancies for cybersecurity. And this is attributable to the fact that during the pandemic, a lot of brick and mortar businesses have moved online. And because they move online, it was a survival issue with them, because they have to either go online or they go bankrupt, because everybody was locked into their homes, could not come out. So they moved their businesses online. And so there was a huge upsurge in e-commerce, in on online payments, opening up of e-wallets and online bank accounts. So this opened up a very big opportunity for cyber criminals, seeing that, okay, there's this shift to online transactions and online commerce. So they were seeing trillions of dollars moving online, and wherever their money is, the cyber criminals are there. So they've seen that and they're exploiting that. So now many of the e-commerce platforms, the e-wallet providers, are now catching up and starting to build up their cybersecurity, in order to protect customers, in order to protect clients, in order to protect the general public from scammers, from phishing, and from many of the other, from ransomware and many other threats. So we are intensifying on a massive scale our training and our capacity building for cybersecurity, for AI, for many of them emerging technologies among our digital workforce. So, everybody knows the Philippines is a very young workforce. We're averaging about 24, 25 years old. So this is very ideal because in the next 2 decades, the Philippines will be the country that would have one of the biggest and youngest workforce that can address many of the challenges that are faced by first world countries. Their aging population, their lack of manpower in order to meet their economic development. But because of this gap on cybersecurity, we're hoping that by building up capacity on cybersecurity, other countries would come and access our talents. So, salaries in the cybersecurity arena is quite good. In most cases, the salary is higher than any cabinet secretary. So it's a very very lucrative profession, and the hiring is there. It's really a seller's market, and so a lot of large companies are hiring. The cyber criminal organizations are also hiring, and so there's a competition for talents. And Filipinos are known to be digital natives. We love our gadgets. We love our technology, and so I think developing the right skills to address this growing challenge is just correct. So that's part of our cyber security program, and the plan includes this upskilling or scaling up our training component. Then, of course, we're also doing more information campaigns to make the public aware of what are the risks involved, what are the different schemes and scams that are out there. For instance, this is February, so we recently just made a public announcement to watch out for love scams, because that's going to be very prevalent now in this month of love. And we landed in the world stage back in 2000 with the I love you virus. So Filipinos are naturally romantic, and we just need to warn everybody to watch out against clicking baits or phishing attempts. The cyber criminals are becoming very, very innovative, very smart, and they are very adept at using what we call social engineering in order to steal your passwords, to coax you into revealing your online e-wallet accounts, and so on. So they disguise themselves as legitimate banks, credit card companies, sometimes even government agencies, to coax you into biting on the bait. So again, we'd like to warn the public. Go to the sites that we know in the DICT, where we regularly educate the public on the ongoing scams and the favorite scams that are being utilized, and also the how to secure yourselves and how to protect yourselves from being victimized by these scammers. So I think that somehow summarizes our cybersecurity plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Ivan. A question from Raquel Bayan.
Good morning, Secretary. Sir, nabanggitin po ba dun sa sectoral meeting yung recent attempt po ng hacking attempt sa OWA and dun sa workspace po ng ilang government offices? Ano po kaya naging directive ni Pangulo Marcos?
Well, that has been ongoing, since even before we came into office, no. We've been monitoring regular probing, regular threats coming from all sectors, from criminal organizations and many threat actors in the world. So we take those things very seriously, and we actually have built up more competencies in detecting early on any of those attempts to hack into not just government systems but also private corporations. There have been some private institutions that were also compromised via ransomware. The most in the government, I think the one that has attracted most attention was the PhilHealth ransomware attack. So the directive of the president has remained the same, that we need to be vigilant and we need to be always on guard in protecting our cyber security infrastructure. However, this is not a single person or a single agency's responsibility. We have to take it as a whole, not just a whole of government approach, but a whole of nation approach. Because the responsibility to protecting our cyber borders does not only lie with the ICT or with the defense, but with each and every Filipino, to be more vigilant and to be more aware of any of these attempts.
Sir, for clarification lang po, yung mga ganitong hacking attempts po, kahit nag-fail po sila ng attempt, definitely may nalabag na po ba sila sa batas and we can prosecute
Oh,
them?
definitely. Under the cybercrime law, merong nalabag na batas. But ang mga threat actors so kasi may foreign at may local. So yung mga local madaling hulihin, no? At marami na kaming nahuli diyan. At some of them are currently under investigation by the law enforcement agencies or by the Department of Justice for prosecution. Ang challenging are foreign threat actors dahil they reside outside our jurisdiction, and sometimes they hide behind certain countries that may harbor them for their own reasons. Many of these hackers are actually mercenaries, meaning they go for the highest price. So they hide in safe havens, then they offer their services to anybody, whether to cyber criminal organizations or to governments. And so minsan siguro it will not even be surprising that two governments that are going against each other are actually hiring the same group of mercenaries to hack each other. So ganun talaga, no? Kung mercenaries yan, walang loyalty yan. Their loyalty is to whoever pays them.
And then, sir, based po dun sa initial investigation po natin, China-based po itong recent attempt ng hacking. Meron po ba tayo or makikipag-ugnayan po ba tayo sa China to help us prosecute them?
Yes, actually, they have reached out to us if we can do some cooperation. Dahil it's actually both ways, no? Cooperation has to come as a mutual activity. So they are willing to help. They have mentioned that if we can share with them kung ano yung nangyari para mahanap daw nila kung saan at sino yung gumawa nun. In the Philippines, we're also arresting quite a few. If you would recall, nung nag-raid kami ng isang scam center sa may Pasay, where we arrested 600 individuals. Out of the 600, 200 of them were Chinese. And nung nahuli namin at nakita namin yung mga computers nila, ang mga binibiktima nila ay mga citizens rin ng China at mga residents ng Hong Kong, ng Taiwan, ng Singapore, all Mandarin-speaking countries. Tina-target rin nila for their scams. So, ganun, no? So, na-detect, nahuli namin yun at yun rin, no? Gusto rin ng China na once we prosecute these people, eventually, gusto nilang ma-deport rin to their country so they can properly prosecute these people who are attacking their citizens and compromising also their cyber security. So we are open to working with everybody. These actors they're everywhere, no? For instance, yung ransomware attack na nangyari sa PhilHealth, it was using the Medusa ransomware, which is actually based in Russia. So, maraming mga ganitong criminal organizations, mga mercenaries, hackers na nagtatago sa iba-ibang mga bansa at ginagamit ang kanilang mga talento sa masasamang paraan. So, importante po ang coordination among different countries to work together and go after these groups.
And then, sir, lastly from my end, you mentioned kanina yung cyber criminals, mas nagiging innovative na po sila. Sir, should the public be worried? Ano po kaya assurance na ibibigay natin sa publiko?
Nako, dapat maging alerto po, no? Alam nyo po, kahit na anong cybersecurity firewall or protection na ilagay natin dyan sa sistema nyo, malulusutan rin po yun kung using social engineering, you willingly give up your password, you willingly give up your PIN, your phone number, at once na nakatanggap kayo ng one-time password, binibigay niyo yung one-time password doon sa scammer. So, dapat maging alert, no? At wag kong masyadong gullible yung public. Kung inaalok ko kayo ng isang bagay na too good to be true, nanalo kayo sa raffle, sa loto or whatever, or sasabihin sa inyo na nagkamali yung bangko at nabawasan yung account nyo ng itong amount. So tumatawag ngayon sila upang i-correct yun at hinihingi yung account number mo at hinihingi yung huwag nyo pong basta-basta ibigay yan, no? Napakadali naman. Ang gawin nyo po is ibaba nyo yung telepono at kayo po ang tumawag sa bangko nyo at i-verify nyo. So, hanggat hindi po kayo ang tumatawag sa mga numero or sa mga contact information na alam nyo na sa bangko, huwag ko kayong re-rely sa tawag ng iba sa telepono nyo. Dahil hindi ho kayo nakakasiguro na ang tumatawag sa inyo scammer ba o totoong lehitimong bangko or online or credit card company or whatever. At napakatalino po nila, no? Bago kayo tinatawagan and nire-research na po kayo. Very expert na mga mga scammers po. So pagtawag sa inyo, alam na yung pangalan nyo, alam na yung birth date nyo, alam na yung address nyo. Dahil ni-profile na ho kayo sa social media, kinuha na yung mga information nyo from different sources. So talagang targeted kayo for that. So don't be misled. You need to be alert.
maybe would be a good time to paalala sa ating mga nanonood to alalayan ng mga elderly parents and grandparents kasi ang daming seniors na madaling nabibiktima sa especially hindi sila sanay sa online banking, yung mga alam na yung birthday nila, mother's maiden name kasi it's all shared online. So please look out for those who are easily vulnerable. Okay, we have a question from Tuesday New DZPP. Please pass the mic.
Hi sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina ay i-upscale na natin o upgrade yung capacity ng ating mga tao dito sa bansa. Nagsisimula na po ba yung training sa kanila? Yung mga tao na po ba ito ay from the government? Paano po yung public like us na gustong matuto? Saan kami magte-training and would this be libre para sa training o paano po?
So our target is nationwide po, no? So currently with the resources that we have, we're currently upskilling government workers muna. But nasa programa na po namin yan na within the year to be able to deploy a more inclusive cyber training to the general public. So we have a DICT ICT Academy. So we're going to expand that academy to include not just training for government, but also to the private individuals who wants to be trained. At the same time, we're also working with different providers, whether these are universities, colleges, training institutes, for them to possibly deploy some of the course content that we will curate that will allow them to learn more. And we're also working with industry to provide those content. So, alam mo niya, maraming mga cybersecurity at mga providers like Google, Microsoft. Yan, meron silang mga certification programs, training and certificate programs. Ang ano lang dyan is minsan may pagkamahal, no, sa training. At then eventually, babayad rin ulit kayo for certification. So, we are identifying anong mga training components na maaring libre at maibigay sa publiko. Ngunit kung gusto nila na mas advanced na training na magkakaroon sila ng certification, we will be negotiating with these companies to provide maybe a volume discount na okay, kung makapag-enroll kami ng 10,000 students, ito yung rate na ibibigay nyo sa ICT Academy ng DICT. So, lahat na mag-enroll, may ibang component na libre, but once na pumasa na sila at may ibang mga estudyante or mga learners na gustong mag-advance pa sa next level na medyo magbayad sila, it will be on a much lower rate. And then we'll work also on scholarships, perhaps for some of those na nakita namin na mapursige, no, sa pag-aaral at may talento na maging super hacker or something like that. So kung may mga ganong talents, then we'll identify them and provide them perhaps with scholarships para ma-level up naman natin yung ating mga experts.
Alvin Baltasar.
Secretary, good morning po. Kanina nabanggit niyo yung 2 million jobs for cybersecurity. Pero dito na lang tayo siguro sa office ng DICT. May job openings po ba sa inyo na for cybersecurity na hindi ako mag-apply, sir. May re-recommenda lang. Hindi, sir. For cybersecurity duties, kung meron, ilan yung mga kailangan nyo, sir?
Actually, the more the better. Ang problema lang natin po is, typical in any government office is plantilla that's allowed by DBM, based on budget and all of those. So dyan tayo limitado. At ang nakakalungkot po is yung position or plantilla classifications natin, napakaluma po. Napakaluma. So, wala po tayong item na cybersecurity or AI expert. In fact, meron po tayong items na punch card feeder or telephone network operator. Yung mga dating tapos nagsasaksak. May mga items po tayong ganun sa plantilla natin sa gobyerno. So, long overdue po, no? Mukhang napabayaan itong mga reclassification of positions in the civil service and all those. So, kailangan nung baguhin at kailangan ma-update po yan dahil marami hong mga positions na obsolete na yung mga talent at yung sweldo ay napakaliit. So, mas mataas pa yata yung mga sweldo ng mga drivers at utility workers kasi doon. So, we need to right size and we need to formulate a good program where we can retain or hire good talents and pay them properly. Dahil alam niyo po, ang talento may presyo po 'yon at kung hindi po natin bigyan ng kaukulang monetary consideration, talagang magre-resign yan at lilipat sa private sector. So sometimes we just appeal to their patriotism to para sa bayan, to serve the public. Problema po, alam niyo po, nang nasa gobyerno tayo, kahit na anong gawin niyo pong kabutihan, talagang babatikusin pa rin po kayo at never po masasatisfy yung tao sa kahit na anong sakripisyo at anong galing at anong mga pagmamahal na ibinuhos nyo sa ating bayan. So konting paunawa lang po.
Okay. Eden Santos, na 25.
Secretary, kumustahin ko lang po muna yung national ID distribution natin. Any update or latest data kung ilan na po yung nakatanggap ng kanilang ID? Malamang kami po ng pamilya ko hindi pa kasama doon.
Pareho lang na tayo. Well, yung national ID po is that's the PhilSys system, which is managed by the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA. So the Philippine Statistics Authority is under the NEDA. It's not under the DICT. So siguro maganda po na maitanong nyo sa kanila kung ano nangyayari, bakit hindi pa lumalabas yung mga physical na ID nyo. Ngunit may directive po ang ating mahal na Pangulo na ang DICT po tumulong na at wag na pong antayin yung plastic card ID. Humanap po tayo ng paraan na makadistribute rin ng ID na medyo modern at nasasang-ayon sa digital age. So, na-develop na po namin yung digital national ID. So, ito po ay nakipag-ugnayan kami sa PSA, sa PhilSys, at nakapag-generate na po kami ng about 56 million digital IDs. Ngunit we only have about 1.4 million people who have downloaded the eGov PH app. So, yung 1.4 million na yan, sila po ma-access na nila yung national digital ID nila. So, kayo po, kung mag-download na po kayo ng eGov PH app, ma-access nun po yung national digital ID nyo. Kahit na wala pa kayo yung physical card ID, tingnan nyo lang ho yun. Kung pag-access nyo po at hindi kayo makapag-connect at wala, ang ibig sabihin po nun, hindi pa naayos ng PSA yung data nyo dahil ang National Digital ID po, kumo-connect lang sa database ng PSA kung ano yung mga naiayos na nila na ID, no, na information. So pag-access niyan, lalabas yung digital ID nyo. Kung sinabi na hindi ma-access, then may problema sa PSA. So tawagan yung PSA at tanungin nyo kung ano, maaring mali yung picture na or yung resolution ng picture hindi ganun kaganda, so hindi ma-validate yung biometrics nyo, or maaring may error sa pag-input ng birth date nyo, ng address nyo, or whatever, at yung issues na yung kailangan ayusin sa PSA.
Secretary, ito pong egov.ph.cap ba yun? Tama ba?
egov.ph.
Okay, .ph.
Pumunta lang ko kayo, wag ko kayo magkiklik ng any link. Pupunta lang ho kayo sa Apple Store or sa Google Play at doon ho kayo magda-download. Kung makatanggap po kayo ng text na mag-download ng eGov PH app at may link doon, scammer ho yun. Dahil hindi po kami nagpapadala ng link. Sasabihin lang namin, pag text namin sa inyo, sasabihin lang namin, download the eGov PH app, go to your Apple Store, go to your Google Play. We do not put that link. Yung mga links na yan yung mga pinaka-paboritong tool ng mga scammers. No? Pag-click nyo yung link, dadalhin kayo sa website nila at mukhang lehitimong website at doon kukunin lahat ng mga information nyo.
So yun po sana yung follow-up question ko, no? Kung prone din ba sa hacking, sa cyber attack itong app po na ito? And ano po yung ginagawa ng DICT para po ma-prevent na ma-scam din yung ating mga kababayan na gagamitin itong digital app na ito para sa kanilang national ID?
So, so long as you go to Apple or Google to download it, dumaan na po yun sa dung dalawang kumpanya na i-check nila na lehitimo ang app na yan. At marami pong mga requirements no, bago pwedeng ilagay yung app na downloadable doon. So, you're assured that it's a legitimate app. And once you download it, we have put that app into a lot of testing. So, we've actually even hired professional hackers to hack and even put up rewards. Whoever is successful, we're gonna give them a reward. So far, wala pa naman, no? For Hack for Gov, tawag namin ng Hack for Gov. So they inform us, they register with us, and they will say, okay, then we can hire them. And they will do the hacking. So the app has gone through a lot, not just locally, no, pati mga international cybersecurity organizations that do vulnerability assessment and testing, penetration testing. So marami na pong iterations. Ang medyo wala po kaming full control yung mga sites where the app is linked to. Kasi yung app, hindi po yan yung repository ng mga data nyo. Yung bawat ahensya ng gobyerno, nandoon pa rin yung repository ng data. This app only verifies your identity na kayo po ay tunay at hindi peke. At once na na-verify ng app yan, i-connect kayo sa database nung ahensya. Whether it's GSIS, SSS, BIR, NBI, DFA, or whatever government agency. So, kung yung ahensya ng gobyerno na may hawak ng database na yan, medyo mahina yung cybersecurity, then maaring doon ma-compromise. But it will not be through the app. It will be through other means.
Okay.
So, the app merely just links them.
Sorry,
Thank
sir.
you.
We have time for a few more questions. We have Ivan Mayrina, GMA.
Secretary, hingi lang ako ng details. So, sinabi ninyo, nag-reach out ang China dun sa recent incident na may attempts to hack I think
Government sites.
Yeah, government sites, including that of
OWA.
the President, OWA, the Philippine Coast Guard. Does that rule out the suspicion that this has anything to do with the South China Sea conflict dispute?
Well, that's not for us to come out with that conclusion yet, no? It's too early, but anything is possible. So we just need to, I think, currently take it as at face value and see how things develop. You know, in cyber investigations and in analyzing all of this, we never rule out anything. Everything is in the realm of the possible. So, but we always maintain an open arms. Anyone who wants to cooperate, we don't reject those offers, and then see where we go from there.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Secretary, Senator Ontiveros filed a resolution with the Senate to investigate these series of attempts to hack government websites. And in a related investigation, may similar din pong ginawa sa House, where tech experts expressed concern that AI might be getting out of control at itong deepfake nga daw posibleng magamit sa next elections and all that. What's your take on this, Secretary?
Actually, deepfake is not being used for the next elections. It's already being used currently for many elections. So there are several elections that's ongoing worldwide. And this year, I think there's the most number of elections yata of many countries, no, including the United States. So we're seeing a lot of deepfakes out there on social media platforms and many of the other platforms. So AI-enabled deepfakes is quite rampant. So we need to be more discerning. Unfortunately, this could possibly be used for misinformation and to put words into your mouth. They can actually imitate not just your voice but also your looks, and make it appear that you are the one doing this activity or making these statements. I'm sure many of you have accessed some of the parody deepfake sites that's out there. That's doing it. But meron silang disclaimer. Nilalagay nila, this is a parody site, and we're imitating the voice of so and so, but this is not them. Or sometimes may nakikita kayong mga deepfake pictures of, let's say, some famous movie stars na nasa Tondo nagsha-shopping sa 168 or kumakain ng ng fishball, pero alam niyo po na itong mga artistang ito was never in those areas, but kuwang-kuha po and those are just photos. You can actually even see videos of that. So the cybersecurity industry has actually also been utilizing a lot of AI-enabled software for deepfake detection. So we are working with many of these cybersecurity agencies also for access to these tools, so that we can reveal them and use them and reveal whatever's deepfake is out there. So it's an ongoing arms race, cyber arms race, that each time a new technology comes out, criminals will use that technology, but the good guys will also use those technology to counter. And it's really an arms race. There's really no
At the
limit.
recent World Economic Forum, AI, misuse of AI that leads to misinformation, disinformation, is considered the number one risk, greater than climate change, short-term risk. Because of this year, it could topple economies and, democratic elections. So it's a global concern. Okay, let's move on to Ann Soberano. We don't have much time left.
Sir, last lang. Dito, nagbanggit kasi ng Philippine National Police, sir, na concerned sila ngayon sa itong pagbebenta ng mga pre-registered SIM card. Paano po nakakalusot ito at may monitoring din pa ba ang DICT? At ano po yung ginagawa nyo dito? Thank you.
Actually, the police are also coordinating with our CICC, no, our Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Center, together with the telcos, and identifying kung ano nga ba itong mga ginagawa. Ang nangyayari po is many of the pre-registered SIM cards are actually registered under legitimate names. Ngunit ang ginagawa is binebenta nga yung SIM card nila. Dahil magkano ba SIM card ngayon? Mura lang, 20 pesos? 30 pesos. 30 pesos, i-rehistro nila sa pangalan nila, tapos bebenta nila ng 500. Quick, easy money for them, no? Hindi nila naisip yung consequence sa kanila. So, minsan pag nahuli natin, at nakita natin at hinahanap natin, some of them come from our kababayans na medyo not well off, and they just want to make a quick buck out of it. So we are trying to formulate ways with the telcos on how we can address this concern. Paano liability? Tunay na tao yun. Paano naman sasabihin ng telcos na, dahil pulubi ka, hindi ka namin bibentahan ng SIM card. Hindi pwede, di ba?
Okay. Tuesday New, and then the last one will be Alvin Baltasar.
Sir, mayroon na tayong SIM card registration law, pero marami pa rin text scam. Saan po ang nakikita niyong loophole or pagkukulang? But ganito pa rin, mayroon pa rin. Ano po, no? Marami ngayon nanggagaling po sa what we call OTT, over-the-top providers. So, pinapadala nila sa Telegram, sa WhatsApp, Messenger, and so on. So, in many instances, those apps do not need a SIM card. I mean, sa Messenger nyo, kailangan ba ng SIM card? Hindi. So many of them do not need a SIM card. All they need is to know your social media account that is linked to those communications accounts, and then they send it to you. So, on the other hand, yung mga gumagamit ng SIM cards, yung mga nahuhuli ho namin ng mga sindikato dito sa Pilipinas, gumagamit to sila ng tinatawag ng mga text blasters, no? Malalaking machine yan na sinasaksak lahat at pinapadala. Lahat po itong mga equipment ito is smuggled from other countries. Nauso po yan nung mga eleksyon dahil marami mga kandidato bumibili po niyan para makapagkampanya. So, nakakalat po. Marami niyan. So, NTC together with law enforcement are going after many of these equipment that are unregistered, that are smuggled in, and confiscating them. But we need to work with the Bureau of Customs to find out paano nakakapasok yung mga equipment na yan. And we need to work with local governments and candidates for them to surrender those unlicensed and unregistered equipment. Good luck to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Alvin Baltasar for the last question. Thank you.
Secretary, sorry, pero babalikan ko lang kanina yung sa plantilla positions supposed to be para sa office nyo for cybersecurity officers. Sec, may coordination na po kayo dito sa civil service. At saka kung sakaling hingin kayo ng rekomendasyon ng civil service, magkano yung i-recommend yung starting salary ng cybersecurity officer para mahikayat natin sila?
Yung sa salary, medyo tricky po yun. Ngunit, as we speak po, no? As we speak, may workshop ngayon, ang DBM, together with the different government agencies on right-sizing the government. So, in that forum, that workshop, I think it will be a good opportunity to raise some of the antiquated positions that we have that are no longer relevant, that are still in government, and address the gap wherein we need new position classifications in order to meet the new challenges and the new demands of government service.
Okay.
Thank you.
On that note, this concludes our press briefing this morning. Thank you so much to Secretary Ivan Uy and maraming salamat Malacanang Press Corps. Good afternoon. Good morning.